If you want to be successful, the truth is you got to be able to rewire your life. What's going on, guys? It's Uzziah, your success consultant. And in today's video, I want you to understand that you got to rewire your life in order to achieve success. Yes, you may be able to accomplish something great in one moment of your life. But the only way that you're going to be able to do that is if you change yourself as a person, because success is not going to come to you. You've got to come to it. And the true reality, the truth of the situation is that every single person that's ever desired to be successful and actually accomplished it, they had to do some soul searching within to change themselves, because there's some part of each and every one of us that holds us back from the greatness that we can accomplish. I really want you to think about this. And as you watch this video, I want you to think about it with a real open mind and an open heart, so that way you're not so hard on yourself. Every single successful person has had to overcome some type of internal flaw that was holding them back from becoming successful. I'll give you a prime example. If you read the story of Richard Branson, this is the CEO of Virgin Airlines. Richard Branson, he was dyslexic. And so he never was very naturally good when it came to numbers, but he had to be able to rewire his life in some type of a way that made him good at math to a point where he could actually be a good business owner. If there's things in your life right now, don't just have a fixed mindset. Don't look at your life and say, well, this is the way that things have always been, so this is how things are always going to be. There's going to have to be parts of your life, personally, mentally, spiritually, physically. There's going to be different aspects of your inner self that you're going to have to really rewire and reprogram in order to be able to get to success. Maybe you have an addictive personality, and maybe you've addicted yourself to things or to people that are holding you back from achieving a certain level of success. Maybe you have, a real personality. Maybe you're not a real people person. And you've come to the realization that if you want to be successful in life, you gotta be effective as a communicator. You've got to be able to network with people. You've got to be able to shake hands on a certain type of a level to get you through certain doors. Wherever you are in your life right now, I want you to make a commitment to rewiring yourself using these 3 success principles that I'm going to share with you in this video. So the first way that you're going to go about rewiring yourself for success, because you're not at your best version yet. If you look at somebody that's successful, and this is super important, average people will look at themselves and say, well, this is just how God made me, so everybody else is going to have to deal with it. That's what an average person does. An average person is not willing to change any part of themselves in order to get the things that they want out of life. So instead, what they'll do is they'll have something that they really want out of life, and if they don't get it because they're not the right person to get it, they will complain. If they have something that they want to get out of life, but they haven't adjusted themselves, if they haven't changed themselves, if they haven't sharpened themselves to be able to get themselves to a position where they could stand in front of the thing that they want and just grab it because they're the right person to get it, instead of actually making the changes to be able to accomplish the things that they want to accomplish, they'll look at themselves being so far away from success, and because of the fact they're unwilling to change themselves, they will posture themselves as the victim. Oh, well, I don't have this level of success because I didn't go to college. I don't have this level of success because I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I don't have this level of success because I'm a black person, or because I'm a woman, or because I'm a midget, or because I'm this, or because I have this certain limitation that life has given me that in my mind only is an ironclad barrier that stops me from being successful as a person. Regardless of your limitation in life, has someone else that was ever dealt the same hand that you were dealt in life accomplished the things that you want to accomplish? 99.9% of the time, the answer is yes. And so you got to be able to rewire yourself. What's the first way to do that? Pain. If you're an adult watching this video, you've got to recognize that you've got to pain your way to success. Every last one of us has gone through situations in life where we felt tremendous pain. And sometimes in those painful moments, it's changed us because we went through so much tragedy. We went through so much trauma. We went through so much heartache. Life dealt us such a blow that we said to ourselves, I never want to find myself in this situation again. And to be quite honest with you, the number one problem in your life is not the fact that you don't have the right skill or you don't have the right education. That's not what's holding you back for you to get to success. I know you think that it is, but that's not what's holding you back. The number one reason why you're not at that success yet is because you're comfortable and you're content with where you already are at. You've taken a life that you've already accepted. Maybe if you had a little bit more pain to be able to drive you to do something different, then that's when you would see the results. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Have you ever done something so many times where it's like you go into something and just by habit, you just keep doing the same thing over and over again in a certain type of a way, but you always find yourself unsatisfied with the end result? Maybe that's for you when it comes to your work. You go to the same job day in and day out, knowing that you hate the damn job, but you're not finding your life changing in the least bit. Maybe it's in a relationship. Maybe you know that if you go into a relationship operating a certain type of a way, it's not going to work out in your favor, but you find yourself doing the same pattern over and over again. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. Maybe what you got to do is you got to let your current results pain you so much that it actually pushes you forward in life. So that way the goals that you currently have and the results that you currently have are unsatisfactory because now you have different standards. Now you're playing at a better game. Now you're performing at a higher level. Maybe you're not pushing yourself as hard as you need to, and you need to push yourself harder to be able to pain you enough to be able to put you in a position where you want to be able to strive for greatness at a higher level. Let me share with you a quick story about what life was like for me when I was working in corporate America. So I would go to work every single day and, I was making good money and I was able to do my job well. Every year I got bonuses, I got raises, at times I got promotions, but there was a real part of me that felt unfulfilled. There was a real part of my life that felt that if I stayed at this job for so many years, from my 20s to my 30s, my 30s to my 40s, my 40s to my 50s, one day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to grow old knowing that there were talents and gifts that was left inside of me that just rotted away that the world was never able to see. I knew personally that if I lived my entire life just sitting behind a desk, just typing away at the keyboard, just programming this little thing that nobody's going to be able to see, the world would never be able to connect with me to know the things and the insights that I could speak into existence to the world. And so I'm just staying behind this cubicle, just operating in my comfort zone, never allowing my light to shine before men. And so what happened? That thought started to depress me. And I reached out to one of my mentors and I asked him, I said, what would be the right time for me to be able to leave this job? When is the right moment for me to take all of the thoughts and all of the feelings that I have right now that I carry on my shoulders every single day about going to work, feeling unfulfilled, feeling unsatisfied, being marginalized in a position where I'm not really being used to my fullest potential? When is the right time for me to be able to make my exit out of corporate America? I asked my mentor this, and he didn't respond with anything that was based upon something financial. He didn't respond with something that was based upon my skill set. He said that when you go through enough pain from this job to where you can't take it anymore, right in that moment, you'll know when is the right time for you to be able to make your exit. In that moment of you experiencing so much pain from this job, not just a little bit of pain, but the right amount of pain, once you go through enough pain in this current position, the answer is going to be evident on when you need to make the jump, because that pain is what's going to motivate you to actually focus on building a real full-time business. And sure enough, I found myself going through enough pain that every single day when I got off of work, no matter how tired I was, no matter what other commitments I had in place, I always found time to work on building my business every single day. I worked on my business once I got off the job, once I got done with work, and I worked on my business before I even went into the office to punch in for work that day. And so when the pain is at the right level and is really piercing through your heart enough, so you got to be able to invite pain. Most people, they try to run away from pain. They don't want to go towards pain, but successful people embrace the pain because they know that the pain of what they go through is going to allow them to grow into a better position, because there cannot be growth without pain. You've got to pain yourself in positions of success. And honestly, the reason why you may not be getting the results that you want right now is because you're not experiencing enough pain. You wake up every single day and life is comfortable enough. Yeah, you might not be living the ideal life that you want to live, but you haven't hit rock bottom enough yet to the point where it's actually going to change your behavior. So all of your behaviors, your mentalities, your habits, your view on life, right now you're just content with it because this is the life that you've accepted. You've accepted life for what it is. I don't want you to accept anything. I want you, if you're comfortable right now, go find something that's going to pain you enough to be able to change who you are, so that way you find yourself in a better position. I didn't just find myself pained through working in corporate America alone. I also found myself pained when I was homeless before I got in corporate America. And I said to myself, when I was homeless, when I did not have a dollar to my name, when I didn't have 50 cents in my checking account to be able to go into a store and buy an energy bar, and the cashier is feeling sorry for me as I'm trying to get something that's 50 cents in the store, knowing that I hadn't ate a meal in days. That moment and that pain is what made me look inside of myself and say to myself, I am never going to find myself in this position ever again. I am never going to do the things or not do the things that goes into me being in this position. I'm always going to make sure that I never find myself being homeless ever again in life. And those motivations got me to where I am today, but it only came through pain. Nobody says, I'm just going to come out the mother's womb and I'm just going to outwork everybody. Nobody says that. Nobody watches everybody partying it up on social media and having a good time and doing this and doing that with friends and say, you know what? I think it would be a really good idea for me to work my ass off today and break my back when everybody else is having fun. Nobody does that. It's only when you find yourself going through the pain points of life that you get the wisdom and the motivations to step away from what everybody else is doing, so that way you can live a life that nobody else is living. That's the first point, okay? The second way that you're going to be able to rewire yourself to be able to achieve levels of greatness is through repetition. Because repetition is what creates habit. Repetition is what deepens the impression of your learning. Repetition is what takes very successful habits and principles that you aspire to have in your life. It takes it from being something that's foreign, that you would never do, that feels weird and awkward for you to do. It turns it into a habit, so it becomes second nature. It becomes a part of your everyday life. So I want you to start taking habits and start installing new habits through repetition. If you watch some of my prior videos, you will know this. According to the University College of London, it takes on average 66 consecutive days to be able to install a new habit and go from the unknown to it being a natural part of your everyday life. If there's a habit that you are holding on to right now and it's holding back your success, do you love yourself enough to go 66 days rewiring that habit? Think about your life, man. Think about the grand scheme of things. Is 66 days going to be a lot of time in the grand scheme of things, in the big picture? It's only a little bit over 2 months. Are you willing to sacrifice 2 months of consecutively going through the disciplines? Yeah, it might feel a little uncomfortable. Yeah, it may take you out of your comfort zone. Yeah, it may feel weird. Yeah, you may not get all the support of your family and your friends as you do this. But guess what? It's going to pay off for the rest of your life once you take that one thing and you turn it into a habit. Remember this, if you want to be successful, study success. Study the habits of successful people and start to implement those habits into your life. And as you implement it into your life, watch how your life changes. Success is just a byproduct of habits. So don't think about if I'm not smart enough. Don't think about if I don't have the money. You don't need to have money to change a habit. All you need is yourself. Give yourself 66 days and see if things don't change. Thirdly, if you really want to be able to rewire yourself, you need to be able to step up your levels of accountability. Let me tell you some very obscure ways that I've seen successful people go about doing this. And man, it really makes the world of difference. So sometimes I've noticed that if successful people really want to be able to accomplish something, like when it comes to their goal, and they really want to make sure that they hit it, they will publicly put out a message to, maybe it's their friends or people in their community. Maybe it might even be on a Facebook group, whatever. They'll make a bet that if they don't accomplish this goal that they set out to accomplish, they're going to pay off their least favorite charity in the world, their most hated charity, something that represents values that they don't believe in whatsoever. They will pain themselves again, and they'll keep themselves accountable enough to saying, I have a goal. This is the deadline. If I don't hit this goal by this particular deadline, I'm going to pay X amount of dollars to the charity that I detest, just so that I'm motivated enough to be able to stay on top of my goal. Or on the flip side, I've seen a lot of people make bets with other people and say, if there's 20 people in a room that's listening right now, I'm going to make myself a bet that I'm going to accomplish this goal. And if I don't accomplish this goal by this set date, every single one of you in the room is going to get $20. Now, again, that might sound far out, but think about it. If it was you, would you want to be a person that's in the room? Here it is. You've told everybody what you're going to accomplish. You told everybody what you want to be able to do. You've talked a big talk, and now it's time for you to walk the walk. And if you don't live up to that, you're going to have to go up to every single person that you've just promised that you would accomplish something so great. Not only are you going to have to suffer the disappointment of telling the person that you didn't accomplish it, You're going to have to now take hard-earned money out of your pocket and hand each single person a $20 bill, making you poor in your own personal life and existence. That's going to hurt. But guess what? The accountability of that will stop you from having to do that in the first place, because it's going to make sure that you're going to meet the goal. It's going to make sure that you keep persevering and you keep pressing forward, even at times where you don't feel like doing it. See, when it's just you don't tell anybody your goal, you just kind of keep it a secret. It's easy for you to let down yourself because nobody was around to hear it. So you got to be able to set up other accountability measures. Get yourself an accountability partner. Find someone that you can meet with every week. Maybe it's at the end of every week. Maybe it's at the beginning of every week. And you just have a checkpoint with them to see how did things go for you in the past week. Somebody that you admire, somebody that you look up to, someone that you wouldn't want to disappoint if you didn't live up to the person that you said that you would be. Have an accountability partner for yourself. Better yet, on top of having an accountability partner, just find a new circle of people that are actually going to push you towards success. A lot of times, the biggest problem that you have is you're trying to push yourself forward, but you don't have anybody that's trying to push you forward along with you. In fact, everybody that you got in your circle right now is trying to keep you back. They're trying to keep you average, just kind of keep you regular. They don't want to see you become successful. They don't want to see you making more money. They don't want to see you improving your health. They don't want to see you live up to the highest standard that you could have. Why? Because that would be a painful reflection on them to have to look at your own success and know that they could have done the exact same thing had they pushed themselves to accomplish greatness in their own life. A lot of times people, if they are hating on somebody else, the reason why they're hating on somebody else is because it's a reflection of their own personal failures. They don't want to have to live with the fact that, yeah, if I got off of my butt and I did this, I could have been something greater too. So what they do is they look at you trying to do it and they want to push it down so that way the pain is not right in front of their face. This is the reason why those things happen. It's nothing against you personally. It's a reflection of their own shortcomings. So what I want you to be able to do, pain yourself to succeed, install habits through repetition, and make yourself more accountable, which will ultimately change your environment. Between these three factors, these are going to be the top three things that's really going to be able to make your life transform if you let it. So I want you right now, and I rarely promote this, I want you to be able to go ahead and download my Empire Builder. I'm going to leave this at the bottom of the description. Just look right up under this video, click the link in the description, and I want you to be able to download this file, because this Empire Builder file that I'm giving is something that I don't really share with a lot of people, but it's a step-by-step formula for you to be able to go from having nothing to being able to build your very own empire, something great that you can have for yourself, your family members, your loved ones, those that you care about in your community. I want you to be able to download this Empire Builder because, it's not enough that you just get on these videos. It's also about getting community. So getting this Empire Builder will actually give you direct access to be able to communicate with me via email on a weekly basis. And I'll share with you some of the top things that you should be doing right now to be able to change the game, whether that means personal behaviors, getting out of debt, getting a better job, starting your own business, getting into real estate. There's a lot of things that goes into success, okay? So I want you to go ahead, download the Empire Builder. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Share it with a friend, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.